Hey everybody, welcome to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. I'm Mike Catalana along with Dan Fetes. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment as you get ready for your Thanksgiving. I've been to New Orleans a few times before, been here with the Bills, been here for some other things. Dan, your first impressions coming down here to the Big Easy?
It's fun. And there are a lot of Bills fans here, as we always expect. They travel well. We've had a po' boy.
Yes.
We've had a po' boy. We've enjoyed some food. We're gonna go out to eat after we film this. Cool city, great vibe, really cool kind of feel. Is it? This was like one of the road trips that you wanted to be on last year. You know, we missed out on Vegas, but it's really fun to be here.
Yeah, we're hearing the Bills fans chanting, you know, let's go Bills, or, you know, start to do the song or whatever. And then we're hearing a lot of who-dats on the other side.
Yeah, there's also going to be a 95% Saints fans at the Superdome tomorrow. I don't think this is any Jacksonville or a Miami takeover.
Yeah, because they're getting a Thanksgiving night game. It's kind of interesting, but this city ready for a bit of a party. Fans down here, and I was joking saying they sing the blues down here. Bills fans don't want to be singing the blues. Neither do the players after this one. I really think this game is a lot about a mindset and how they come into this game, because I don't know what it's been. Something's been missing with this team for the last few weeks. The Jets game notwithstanding, it's the Jets. What do you think it is that's been missing from this team for the past few weeks?
A little anger.
Yeah.
And it's not only that, there's been emotion. We've seen Josh Allen show emotion. We've seen players show emotion. It's a little bit of that anger and a little bit of that pride. And as I've said before, when you get run over as a defense, it takes away, it kind of cuts at your ego and your sense of, you know, being tough. Again, I understand that somebody commented before, I wore the LL Bean thing and I called the Bills soft. Fully aware, hand up. But guess what? They kind of been playing soft.
Yeah.
And we started to see this, and you've talked about it before, Mike, where the NFL has kind of shifted back and forth. Finesse teams can get pushed around, and the Bills have been getting pushed around, and that's where I just want to see them. They've lacked some of that toughness. That time when they get punched early in a game, they haven't had the response to punching back and putting up a fight.
We're talking about toughness. I have no idea what that music is playing in the background.
Steamboat. That's the boat.
That's the Steamboat?
Yeah, that's the boat.
Okay, so just so you know, that's not the blues. That's the Steamboat here right behind us.
Plaza, Bourbon Street, river with a boat.
Yeah, that's what's going on behind us. Let's talk about this game specifically, and the biggest player that's out, I think, is for the Saints, because this team so desperately needs playmakers. And they've got really one on this team, and he's not going to be playing.
Yeah, and it's the biggest break I think the Bills were hoping for after seeing what Jonathan Taylor did to them. Alvin Kamara is out. He will not play for the Saints on Thanksgiving. The Bills, we know how much their run defense has struggled, how Jonathan Taylor feasted all over them. They won't have to deal with Kamara, which is a huge lift. But I'll say this, Mike. Doesn't it add even more pressure to the Bills to win this game?
Yeah, I think they already have the pressure on them. Take Kamara out of the game, makes it a little easier. I mean, seriously, this Bills team needs a win. What they need is a win, get it done, and then get themselves healthier and ready to play the Patriots a week from Monday. They're not going to have Spencer Brown in this game. They're not going to have John Feliciano. They're not going to have Star Lotulelei. So Lotulelei going to miss 3 games.
He was worst case scenario for a positive COVID test, testing positive on the day of and missing Sunday, Thursday. It was the worst case scenario.
So they got to get through this one. They got to try to get a win and then get themselves ready for that game coming up. But I think that's a big key for them. And offensively, I mentioned the guys that are going to be out. This offensive line has to play better. And the Saints are tough defensively. They've been missing some players, but they'll get after it. And last week, the Eagles ran the ball on them 50 times. That's not normally what anybody does with the Saints. That's not normally what they are, but they're usually a pretty physical defense.
Wait, the Eagles ran the ball 50 times?
50.
That's not a very balanced offensive attack.
No, but it worked, right? So you don't need balance. Is that what you're saying?
Balance, I feel like, is an excuse when your offense isn't working, when you're trying to grasp at straws to say, well, we don't have balance.
They didn't have balance last year.
Right, and it didn't matter. And Josh was almost the MVP. That's what I get at. It seems like when things go wrong, and that's nature, is to find something, whether it's the play calling, whether it's the offensive line, something like that. You know what would make this, what would fix the balance, and we wouldn't need to talk about it? Josh Allen playing better. How about that?
He does need to play better. And yes, I know, right away, you just went to the keyboard to type in, well, his offensive line's playing badly. We know that.
Who's the idiot in the hoodie?
Yes, we get that. The idea is you're paying him $250 million because you know he's that good. He hasn't been the guy getting past that. I don't want to see him go into a shell,
No.
but I think we need a little bit of that out of Josh. Take the cheese, right? Take the cheese.
Not only taking the cheese, but that you talk about it, $250 million. Not everything is going to be perfect if you're making $250 million. Josh Allen has to cover up for some of the flaws that this offense and this team is having right now. Patrick Mahomes did it for 2 years. We've seen Tom Brady do it for years. And now the Bills, Josh Allen covered up the flaws of no running game last year and a weak defense. He's got to cover up some more flaws. He's got to play better. He knows that. That's no shocker. And Mike, what do you think is a way that this team can get going early? And it starts with Josh Allen.
I think he's going to run the ball.
I agree.
And I know people get anxious when Josh runs the ball. Let me tell you something. They threw it very well against Kansas City. He ran the ball 11 times in that game. And I know you don't like this, designed runs. Maybe not, you got 3 linemen in front of him. I'm going to take my chances. I saw Jalen Hurts, who's a little more of a dynamic runner than Josh, but Josh is strong and physical. And he's the best runner they have on the team. And I think it gets him going.
Yeah.
He's played agitated. What did he tell us when he dressed up like Mickelson? I don't play well when I'm agitated.
Tries
like
to find
that.
his zen.
Yeah. Find your zen by running somebody over early. I want more than 10 runs. I set the under-over at 9.5. You going under or over?
I'm going over.
He's going over.
Because I go back to the last game, the Bills played really well against a good team, and it was against that Chiefs game, and he had 11 carries, and he had 3 designed runs on the opening drive. I think it puts defenses on their toes a little bit. They always talk about wanting to make sure defenses they respect both ways, that they can't just fixate on one thing. I think when Josh starts to run, it changes where the linebackers are, where the safeties are, and should open up more in the passing game like we saw in Kansas City.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. Now, again, we have to sample some of the food down here. So you already said we had a
po' boy
sandwich.
We need a beignet.
Right, which is like a
donut.
Yeah.
It's a donut.
And where are we? What city and state?
We're in Louisiana.
Nope.
We're in New Orleans.
New Orleans, Louisiana.
New Orleans.
New Orleans, Louisiana. No, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
The Rochester comes out at him all the time. He's done. I'm Mike. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.